All right, hello once again, and welcome to another episode of the Heritage Month on Air series. Today we're going to be delving into another place of significance in terms of our history as a people in Ghana. Kweku Dakwankra has joined me once again on the set, and we're going to delve into the conversation. Kweku, where are we going today?
Larabanga.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's go.
Okay.
I mean, for a lot of people who are touristy, we know the mosque and we've heard the stories and the history of when it was built and all of that. But what I'm sure there's a lot more for us to know.
Yeah. It's an interesting town.
Okay.
And you cannot talk about the spread of Islam in Ghana without talking about Larabanga.
Okay.
And the town's own position as a sacred space within the Gunja kingdom itself.
Okay.
And it is very important to see how the spread of Islam came about in Ghana and the role of Larabanga Malams in it is very, very important.
Okay.
So, who are the Larabanga people? Where do they come from? It's a very important question. For many people, even in the north, who do not know the Larabanga people, the immediate assumption is that Larabanga are Gonjes.
Okay.
But the Larabanga are not Mbanya or Mbanyato people, which is the Gonja traditionally.
Okay.
They call them Mbanya.
Okay.
So the Larabanga people are living in the area which is in the west of White Water, and it is one of the 30 communities that forms part of the Mali National Park.
Okay.
So you cannot go to Mali National Park from Tamale without passing through Larabanga, which is very important. So many tourists pass through their town before they go to Mali National Park. The Larabanga people call themselves Kamara.
Okay.
They are Kamara people.
Okay.
And these Kamara people, they speak a language called Kamasira.
Kamasira.
According to Nadim, we call it Kamasira. The recent work by Apu said they call it Larabafi language, okay. Larabafi language. Okay. But the linguists who have studied in the area refer to the language as Kamasira. And this Kamasira language it is grouped, classified among the southwestern Oti group of languages that form part of Central Gaul languages, which Professor Adams Bodomo has reclassified and named as Mabia group of languages. So the Gaul languages are now called Mabia languages of West Africa. And within the Mabia group of languages, the Central Mabia group is where the Kamasira or the Larabafi belongs to.
Okay.
And it is that language, it is its dialectical resemblance is to a language called Hanga. Hanga are also an aboriginal ethnic group within that area. Okay. They are among the Tampuluma, Vagala, Safaleba around the area, as well as Paba. Those were the autochthonous ethnic groups that were there before the arrival of the men, the warrior called in the Wulajapa, who came to found the Gunja kingdom.
Okay.
So these, the Kamara people, as I said, they speak the Kamasira language, which is more similar to Hanga language.
Okay.
And it's also close to Mampulisi language. So instead of even Gunja, it is not even close to the Gunja language which they settle in their land. So that is who they are. The Kamara, according to their oral tradition, trace their ancestry to Malam Ayuba, who is from Medina in Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Okay, in Saudi Arabia. And it was his descendants, that of the Kamara group, that moved all the way from Saudi Arabia to live in the Sahel area. So apart from Larabanga and Dokrogu and Nabori area, as well as in Baona in Ivory Coast, that is where you can find some of this group. But Now let's come to the formation of the town Larabanga.
Okay.
Where did the founder came from? So they were two brothers and their additional friend. So the leader was called Yidan Brahma, or what is called Ibrahima Brahma, and his brother, who is Abu Kabir, popularly known as Dokurogu. And then they came with another Malam called Fatih Morokwe, who they came with. How did they come there? It is said that when the Menda warrior, with his cavalry of horses, came and started conquering the area that became Gonja State, he had difficulties in defeating a group called Kanga, which is a territory between Ghana and Ivory Coast border.
Interesting.
So he decided to ask for spiritual help. And in this spiritual help, he has heard of Abu Kabir and his brother Ibrahima Brahma. So Ibrahim Brahma was called upon by the Mende warrior, which is Japa, who became the Gunja potentate. So in the Wula Japa invited them to come and assist him spiritually. So they came. When they came, through their spiritual help, he was able to conquer the Kanga people. And after conquering the Kanga people, it is the oral tradition says that the Alhaji Ibrahima or Malam Ibrahima also prophesied that he will assist him to fight to cross two rivers, but on the last one he will not succeed.
Oh wow.
So after he has fought and conquered and crossed rivers and crossed even the Black River, he finally met his Waterloo or death at the back of the White River. He could not cross it. And so per the arrangement, if they were able to help Japa to defeat the Kanga people, they were to be given a place to settle and be given independence of their own land.
Oh wow.
So after giving them this opportunity, they moved out to look for an appropriate land to settle on. When they were going, Abu Kabir founded a first settlement in the area which is called Dokrogu. So Dokrogu means the old man's place.
Okay.
So that is the first settlement they founded. Ibrahim Baima, who is a Malam and full of spiritual powers, decided to move further to look for a fertile land. So according to the oral tradition, he threw a spear, which in Kamasi language means pani, spear. He threw the pani, and according to the oral tradition, it moved for several days.
Oh wow.
Several days in the air.
Okay. And
it landed at a place which is a fertile land with river and everything. And they call it Zuriel. That is a fertile land, Zuriel. That is where it landed. When he moved and reached where the spear has landed, he found out that there is certain brightness and aura, a halo, covering the area. In Arabic or in the local, they say the Nura was around it.
Okay.
So he realized that this is a holy land that he is supposed to build his settlement. So within that area, the settlement for Larabanga started, and that area was called Yuri Pani, which means the landing of the spear. And that became the first place. The Yuri Pani became the first area of settlement. So it started developing from there, and it was there he built the mosque 1472, as he's talking about, built the first Larabanga mosque. And then the town also began from there, and then the town that developed was called Larabanga, which means the land of the Arab. Larabanga. Wow. Which means the land of the Arab. Wow. And here, because they were devout Muslims, the community was ruled by a group of devout Muslims, and the town was developed into 4 communities. Okay, Tumbani, Fulupua, the Yurupani itself, and one other. I'll remember and say it. So they become the 4 distinctive area of Larabanga Township. And then the family that rule in the community were 12 families or clans that are in the community.
Okay.
The chiefship of the community in the past used to be the imam of the community. However, as a result of the creation of chieftaincy emanating from the centralized nature of the Gonja society as well as the colonization, which as for sub-chiefs in the community, also brought creation of a chief's order of the Larabanga and creation. And the chieftaincy or the headship in the community rotate among these 4 families I mentioned within the Tubani, Yurupani, Fulupua, and the other one, okay, that form the 4 distinctive districts within the Larabanga.
This is very interesting. I mean, so I've always thought that the name Larabanga was specific to the mosque and it was called that, and that's where the name came from. But you are telling us that the Arab of the land is actually the name that is given to
the land of the Arabs.
The land of the Arabs. Okay. So there's a whole tribe of people, or a whole clan of people that are Larabanga people.
Yes, they are devout Muslim. In fact, they are people who often bear the name Kamara among the.
So if you hear the name Kamara,
yes, within the
typically
community,
okay,
they are the Kamara people.
Okay.
Okay, or Kamasira people, their language they speak.
Yeah.
So these people, after the Ibrahim has built that place, and he also built the first mosque, he decided to ask for a Quran that he will use to lead the people in terms of their spiritual upliftment and worship. So he prayed, according to the oral tradition, he prayed. When he prayed, one of the 7 oldest Quran that is stored in Medina, in Saudi Arabia, moved all the way and landed from heaven, came from heaven and landed on the land and was given to Malam Ibrahim. And that Quran is one today in the world, is one of the 7 oldest holy Quran that you can find in the world, which is at Larabanga. And it is only
so it's still preserved there.
It is still there.
Okay.
And it is read during the Jatini, which is the fire festival of the community.
Okay.
During getting to the Jatini festival, it is read once in a while. So that explains the importance of the town Larabanga. So when we talk of Larabanga, it is a spiritual space. It is a place of cultural and spiritual tourism, where most Christian, most is Muslims and other people who want to see the oldest mosque that ever built can find there, which was built by Ibrahim around 1420s thereabouts.
I see.
So that is something that most people know about Larabanga.
Is there any stories you can share with us about the impact as well as the importance of Larabanga on nearby communities or even countries? You know, people in terms of their reverence for the mosque, their reverence for the locality, and so on. Is there anything significant you can share with us? So
apart from the architectural space, the town Larabanga itself is seen as a sort of a shrine.
I see.
Holy
the
shrine.
Entire town.
Yes, because a lot of supernatural or miraculous activities have taken place within the community.
Yeah.
One, it is said that when Samori Toure, the Guinean warlord who created the kingdom of Wassalu and was a major opponent of the French imperialism, fought them, even though we know him in our part of the world as a slave raider. Samori is well known among all the northern territories and some middle belt for its slave raiding activities. when he was coming down and he was conquering territories and he reached Larabanga,
yeah,
according to the oral tradition, the grasses and the marshy land stuck his land and stopped it from moving. When he inquired, he was told the elders of Larabanga knew of his coming, and in fact, he is somebody who was a mystical man himself.
Yeah,
and he has been prophesied that he will meet his Waterloo somewhere, and if you reach that place, you should be careful that will bring an end to his conquest.
Yeah.
So Larabanga people too were aware that he will be coming to them. So the elders have prophesied that they will make a hut.
Okay.
And when he comes to their place under the pretext of trying to secure peace, he will try to ask for the hut and take it away.
Okay.
So he sent, as they have predicted, Samuel Ture sent message that he wants to come and have a conversation with them about peace. When he entered the town and the feast has been prepared on his behalf, he made an attempt and then he took the hut indeed. And that caused his Waterloo and he could not move further.
Wow.
So that is one major important thing.
Okay.
The additional one.
Okay, well, let's take a short break. We'll come back and we'll get into the rest of that. So, exciting conversations here. I'm learning so many things about Larabanga I had no idea about, and so it's really exciting. I'm sure you're also learning as well. We'll take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, welcome back from that break, and we were talking about Larabanga and the different intricacies about the people that moved from where and came and all of that. So it's more than just the mosque that is there, but of course the history of how the mosque also got set up was, we've learned about that as well. And let's talk to Kweku and wrap it up, and then we'll see what other town there is. All right, so what else do we need to know about Larabanga?
So as I said about Larabanga as a spiritual or a sacred community, the town itself is also seen as a form of shrine. So apart from the story of Samuel Ture's defeat, what happened was that there's another thing of significance that also needs to be known about Larabanga.
Okay.
And that is the stone of Larabanga.
Okay.
It is a very big stone. According to history, during the period of trying to construction of a road from Bole to Tamale, there was a need to pass the road through the town of Larabanga.
Okay.
But according to history, whenever the contractors tried to pave a way through the Larabanga town, a very big stone appears on the road and prevent it from being passed through the town. So there were several attempts at getting the stone away. So finally, when they succeeded in getting the stone, it is said that they even took it to somewhere in Ivory Coast. But after they have taken it there, as soon as they started the construction, the stone came back to block the road again.
Wow.
As a result, they have to meander their way and construct a sharp curve from the Larabanga leading to the town of Tamale. So that is why when you are from Bali and you are moving down, there's a very sharp curve. It is as a result of that stone.
Okay.
And so that stone is still in Larabanga, where people go and then they watch it and make payment. One of particular family is in charge of it. Now the stone has even sunk down. And if you go there, you will see people who have visited there have written their names
on the stone.
On there that they were also there some time ago to observe this important mystical stone. So they call it the mystic stone of Larabanga.
Okay. Wow.
So that is the wonderful history of Larabanga as it captures a group of people who are Muslims in all they are doing, in all their spiritual life and their way of life. And as I said, unlike the other group from there, they trace their ancestry from Medina in Saudi Arabia. as I said, the importance of the town lies not only in the 8 Islamic tradition, but it's also as a mystical town, a shrine, a place where there is also a mystical stone for people to go and watch, apart from the old Larabanga mosque, which is the oldest mosque in Ghana, and one of the oldest mosques in Africa. And one of the oldest in the world. It is very important. And also the baobab tree, and the importance as an enclave which forms one of the 30 communities around the Moli National Park, which is very important.
Fantastic. Let's do one more.
So for one more, I wanted to talk about Yeji, but because of the town. So Yeji, which is in the Pru areas, in the Bunu East. It's, they are also Guans. The Yeji people are Guans. In fact, the language they speak is a form of Inchumuru language. It's slightly different from the Inchumuru which is spoken by the Inchumurus in the northern Ghana.
Interesting.
But it is their language because they were traditionally part of the Inchumuru people. The Yeji people, according to their history, also originated from the latter areas. They were living among the latter people. That is your hometown people. As you know, latter constitutes 2 areas. The latter Kubiase, which is the chief town there, and as well as latter Ahinase, which is at the top there, as it is. And as you know, Kubiase is the Obon people, which were also the autochthonous people that came led by Jedun Kansa and his people that formed the area, meeting the Aboriginal people who were from the Jampo Kodie, which are the Jampo family, which are around the area. So it is from this wonderful community that the Yeji people moved from. According to the Yeji people, they moved from this community because of the behavior of the Akwamu people, who had then become the overlord of the Hilly Guans, and the maltreatment they were treating the Hilly Guans in alliance with the Danes, who were the allies of the Akwamu. So they were selling a lot of their people. While they were in Latte, the Yeji people were called the Kachimpo people. The Kachimpo, as they were there. So they lived from their place and crossed the river Volta, and then moved with the Nkonya and then the Krache people, taking that route to the Volta Basin. So upon reaching the Volta Basin, they went to stay first at a place where the Konkoma people, who were also from Denchra, and has moved all the way into the area, living at a place called Ewiase. Ewiase is also a place where is a one community in the area. While they were staying there, they moved and stay at a place called Jakaboy. From the Jakaboy there, they moved all the way and penetrated to the area which now became Yeji areas. So how did they become Yeji? The oral tradition from the Gonja that were collected by M.A. Brahma asserts that they were called Yeji because that place, as you know, Yeji is a port city. And Dixon tells us that it is one of the few areas where a trade route crosses a river, and as a result, you know, it's a length from the Yeji area to Makango. Makango town, there was another post area. So it's brought a lot of people from all areas of life. In fact, if you look at the origins of other groups that make up together, why the Kachimpos are from the Latte. Groups like the Chirupo were from Aprede, also from the same area in the Hilly Guan. There are others who were also from the Yaja people, and others who were from Kafaba, from the north. And other groups also from within the Bunu areas who also came to settle among the Inchumuru people. So the Yeji people, how did they come by their name? As I was stating earlier, Brahma says that during the trade, during the time that Salaga was the major trade market, and if you go back to history, Salaga used to be one of the biggest markets in West Africa. The traders who moved from Ashanti, when they passed through that area, after they have bought their merchandise and they are returning, people stay within the Yeji enclaves there, and then they rob them. So Yaoje, in the Mbanya language, which is the Gonja language, means casualty of trade, one who has been robbed. It's Yaoje.
Yaoje.
In their language. And then he also says that from the tree they say Yeji, they take from your hand. So it is a place where one is robbed.
Yeah.
A place where one is robbed. Yeji,
Okay.
if you will say when you are moving it there.
Yeah.
However, Fojo, PK Fojo, and then the recent work by Yeji from the area also bring a new theory that says that when the people reach the area, the two princes who goes by the name Yao Kisiwa, also known as Jima, and then his brother Kwame Banka, decided to go and scout the area and find a place. When they were moving, they went to meet the Titabro, also known as Adre. Adre is the name for black water, the river water. So when they found it, they came back and started shouting to their people, exclaiming Yeji, which means let's go and eat, because there is opportunity there, there is water, the land is fertile, so let's go and eat. So Yeji became let's go and eat, became Yeji. That is how they came by their name.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this. You know, there's when we are with Kweku Dako and Crow, we can go as deep as you are willing to swim, you know, and this is what time will allow us to have fantastic conversation on Larabanga, fantastic insights on Yeji as well. Stay tuned to City TV. This is the Heritage Month on Air series.